Hello there, Weng. Okay, because you weren't able to turn into the call, I thought I'd just send you this as a thank you for filling out the survey anyway. So let's see. Let's first have a look at the question. Many people prefer to use public transportation while others say that personal cars are the best mode of transportation. That's a little bit of a distraction. Excessive use of private cars is considered to be the main reason for the traffic jam in many cities. That's why the is encouraged. Okay, so it's kind of like a bit of a guidance, but I'd say more of a distraction. Pros and cons of using public transport. That's what the essay is about. The pros and the cons. And maybe we can even expand on these prompts that they've given us. Now, in the online course we talk about how to simplify the question and organize your essay. So without looking at it, I would have suggested your pros go here, and then the cons would go here. Okay, and maybe take a few ideas from the prompt as well. Topic of the best means of transportation has always sparked heated debate among the public. Okay, not bad. Some prefer the use of public transport. I would suggest such as rather than like, such as buses, trains and trams, while some like the privacy and flexibility of owning their own vehicle or of having their own vehicle. Or vehicles, both are okay. The ability of public transportation nowadays to consistently perform to its standard has remained a matter of concern of many parties. What does that mean? I've got no idea. To its standard. The ability of public transportation nowadays to consistently perform has remained a matter of concern for many parties. Both are okay, but I would just get the to its standard out of the way because it's confusing. In this essay, with support of my personal experience, we shall examine the pros and cons of public transportation. Not bad. Yeah. Also, this is another thing that's covered in our online course. Yeah, is that for your answer from your own knowledge or experience. So this is typical IELTS kind of like distraction, misleading. Okay. What it's really saying is like any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience, but not you personally. It's like knowledge that you know of. Okay, so let's see. There we go. That's the problem. Okay, we can't have answers like this, especially for the academic. And I will tell you how to transform these later. Okay, so I won't be able to join it. Okay, so as you said, I think we'll be doing different time zones when. This is it necessary to use synonyms even for common nouns like these throughout there? If I remember, you said it was all right in one of your podcasts. Okay, so I'll get to that in a second. Thank you very much, and thank you for your kind words. When? So let's go. To begin with, buses and trains, which are able to cater for a large number of passengers, are one of the most effective ways to mitigate air pollution, especially in densely populated areas. Beautiful. It reduces the net carbon emissions by minimizing the use of private vehicles, such as cars or motorcycles. So again, look, two things. Consistency. Cars and motorcycles, such as, sounds a little bit more formal, and in addition, we've already used like. So we want to just increase that variety. Okay, don't worry about that. I can change it to English, I can change it to British. It doesn't matter, just be consistent if you're going with American or if you're going with British. Right then. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, okay, I would have first talked about the pros, which it looks like we are doing. Public vehicles are often guaranteed. Okay, in addition, public vehicles often guarantee travel convenience at a reasonable price point. Okay, good. This is exactly the case in Brisbane City. Delete this. All right, We don't need to make it so personal. It's still an academic. It's still an academic essay. Okay, Brisbane City. Trainslink, the official public transport provider in Brisbane, Queensland, equipped the central buses, central business district and its suburban areas with an extensive and easy-to-reach public transport network, using predominantly buses and trains. Perfect. I would have said in addition to that, Translink also established a smartphone application called GoApp to provide real-time updates and daily notices, as well as journey planning services. Beautiful. Now finish with the therefore sentence summarizing it. Okay? And also, just to make it explicitly clear that you, when, are going to score maximum points for task response. And say something like, therefore, it is clear beyond doubt that, and then, the advantages or the pros. Okay, just circle back to the question. Okay, and maybe even a little summary, but that's the general gist of it. Okay, in our online course as well, we have, in our online course, we have sort of like formats, structures for you to follow for your body paragraphs. Now we should be talking about the cons, and it looks like we did, so that's super. However, all its benefits do come with certain drawbacks. Don't use its as a demonstrative referring to something that you mentioned before. And because this is the first line of the second paragraph, we didn't really mention anything before. Before the its is white space. Okay, so we can use these demonstratives later on in the paragraph, but we don't use them in the first sentence. Okay, however, and also it would have been a good opportunity to use a little stylistic sentence such as, however, for all the benefits public transport brings, there are certain drawbacks. Okay, buses and trains are often packed and crowded. Kind of saying the same thing there. Or you could say are often unhygienic and crowded during peak hours, making the trip largely uncomfortable. This is especially the case for female passengers, where close contact between people. Okay, yeah, so I wouldn't say contacts, it's just singular. Between people is literally unavoidable. I'd have said generally unavoidable in such conditions. So you need to work on singular plural. Okay, that's clear. Moreover, the quality of public transport relies entirely on its provider. Okay, all right, good. For instance, in Malaysia, where I am from originally, again, we don't want these personal references. For instance, in Malaysia, people rarely take buses because it's synonymous with service delays. It is not a reliable means of transport, therefore Malaysians would rather take their own car that is relatively more expensive. Okay, so it seems like we've gone off in a tangent here. The ideal structure would have been certain drawbacks such as personal space and punctuality and reliability. And then we explain each point. First we talk about personal space, and then we'll talk about reliability. And then again we'll finish with thus it is clear, another therefore summary sentence summarizing the drawbacks. Okay? Now, I'm only giving you a general overview. In our online course, we give you the structures you need for more effective, powerful body paragraphs. To conclude, after examining both sides of the topic, the benefits of public transport generally outweigh its drawbacks, only if it is being well managed. Okay, good. Excellent. A good summary there. I don't know why it's only... Okay. That's exactly what you've wrote. Yeah, we can say both, just ignore that suggestion. Hence, governing agencies should strive to improve the quality and reliability of public transport to regain the trust of the people. Excellent. Let's just go back. Give you pros and cons. Okay. I would have possibly mentioned these prompts, traffic jam would have been good to talk about easing the traffic jam, just to make sure that you're going to get full points for task response, rather than just ignoring it outright. Just briefly mention it, okay? Just to be on the safe side, okay? Now, going back to your question, let's see, reading, give me a brief review and score via email. Okay, so score, very roughly, I would put this at a 6.5, okay? I think this one needs to be developed a little bit more. And as I said, the cohesion and coherence needs to be improved with the suggestions that I gave. Regarding synonyms, okay, let's see. Is it necessary to use synonyms in common nouns like these throughout the necessary? Okay, so, right, the case with repetition and synonyms is if you can safely replace it, and you know confidently that it's a good switch, then go for it. Otherwise, don't risk it. Okay? And also, well done with this for noting this. This is one of the problems we have currently with our essay checker, and that's why in the next in the next 7 or 10 days, we'll be upgrading it, and it should be better, it should be more accurate. Okay, but for now, Wen, I think if I was you, I would work on the structure of your body paragraphs. Okay, and I think for your vocabulary synonyms, I wouldn't worry about it too much. I didn't see that much repetition throughout. And I'd also just work on your grammar as well. As you could hear, there's a few corrections I was suggesting, and especially consistency in your sentences. So we're talking singular, plural, agreement throughout the entire sentence. All right. So yeah, that's it for today. Hopefully we'll be putting on some more workshops at different times, and hopefully you'll be able to join us. All the best.